Hey yo, it's time to roar, get loud, let's ignite. Jeremy B in the house, we keeping it tight. Every weekday at 11, we ready to ride. Lions Talk Live, come and join the pride. Waking up early, it's that morning grind. Tune in to the show, leave the troubles behind. Jeremy B's the king, with the voice like thunder. Every word he spits, it's a lyrical wonder. Got the lions around, sharp and fierce. When we hear one pride, you can't help but feel your heart pierce. Talking all the topics, keep it real, keep it raw. With a lion's mentality, we're ready for the roar. One pride, it feels right. Jeremy B bringing the heat, morning light. Every weekday at 11, we taking flight. Lions Talk Alive, yeah, we ready to bite. One pride, hear us loud. Jeremy's in the zone, making us proud.
This is a Huddle Sports Network broadcast. You can find us on Roku TV, Amazon Fire TV, Facebook, and of course YouTube. Get all your NFL news here first.
Good afternoon. It is Lions Talk with Smoke and Jeremy B. How's everybody doing today? What up, though, Fred? Good to see you, RBF Fred. Rather be fishing, Fred. We got 3 people watching across the network. We're on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Rumble, and the Huddle Sports app. Well, let's get into it. Terrion Arnold's out for the season. Christian Mahogany's not brought back yet, but is working with trainers. Tomorrow night's the game. I will be doing a preview show tomorrow. But there was a couple people released, and people can say, well, they won't help us. They're no better than what we have, blah, 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 blah. But Darius Slay was released by the Steelers. And I'm going to talk about that in a second. And Laken Tomlinson was released by the Texans, who's been a healthy scratch the last 2 weeks because he's better at run blocking than pass blocking. Laken Tomlinson and Darius Slay both were drafted by Mayhew back in the day. He became big play Slay under Caldwell towards the end. He was okay with Terrell Austin, but what he wasn't okay with was Matt Patricia, or as I like to call him, Matt Patricia, a dictator type of coach who berated players all the time. Fast forward to Nick Sirianni. Flourished under Sirianni, but they got better younger players and was able to let him go, and he became a Steeler. For Tomlin, who's also a dictator type of coach. And it looked like he checked out this year. Laken Tomlinson would improve us at run block. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. He was rated in the top 15 of run blockers this year before he was benched for better pass blocking, which is why Davis Mills played better, which is why Stroud played better. Timothy Becker, good to see you, brother. Roar. The one thing I am confident about is we haven't lost back-to-back games in what? Let's see. 5 losses, 2 losses, another. In 12 losses, we have not lost back-to-back games. That or put him on the outside now that Terrion Arnold's out. I add the 2. It can't be worse than what we have on the roster, and it would be vet leadership. Laken would be an immediate upgrade over Awasika because he's a better run blocker. Awasika isn't that good at pass blocking anyway, so would it be? It would improve the run block. It would help to open holes through the A and B gap. The A side's the left, the B side's the right. And the reason why I say that is because we can't get Monty going because there's no holes for him to go through. People say we give up on him too soon, but when you're only getting 2-3 yards here and there and you can't do anything and you got to get all your yards on the outside with Gibbs. The one game we blocked well for him to get out was versus the Giants. So say what you want. I think they could both help us temporarily. And it's only 5 games less than the season. It can't make us worse. And I still think it has to do with coaching with Slay more than anything. Tomlinson, it could be that he's getting too old to do the job. So I'm neither all in or all out on it. But would it hurt you to take flyers at this point in the season to help you secure your secondary and your trenches, at least until Mahogany comes back? If nothing else, we don't know what we have in Frazier. He's a rookie. I don't get it. People say, "Oh, we're supposed to be on a Lombardi run." Well, we're not even in the playoffs right now. And if these players help us at all over the next 5 games, it could get us into the playoffs. I don't think we can win the division unless both the teams ahead of us start losing. And that's a possibility, but they're both playing well. So do you take the Flyers and do it yourself and try to earn your way in? Or do you sit as is and do nothing? Which is what everybody griped about at the trade deadline. Even though I know there was reports of people we talked to. That's right. They would both be rental contracts with 5 games less than the season. You probably can get both of them for under $4 million the rest of the year. That's what I'm getting at. It wouldn't hurt the rollover cap. You're talking about $4 million. You're still going to end up restructuring Goff to clear contract money because it doesn't help you to get rid of Goff at this point. And then next year you focus on a tackle in the center and a defensive end in the draft. Because we evidently need somebody opposite Hudson. I know that it was brought up that he disappeared since he got paid on October 29th. His pressure rate dropped from 38% to 12.5. He went from 6.5 back to 2.5 in these last 6 weeks since then. But if you actually look at it, AQM has disappeared. Aleem McNeil only had the one good game versus the Bucs. And so on and so on. We went from being one of the top 15 teams at time to pressure prior to October 29th, that when everybody disappeared, now we're in 32nd place in that stat. And Aiden Hutchinson has to play 94% of the snaps. I think he's getting gassed because we don't have anybody good enough to put in rotation. And I'm not saying Ahmad Hassanin's going to be good enough, but he's rotational. He would add depth. We need to get him on the active 53. Someone needs to be sat down. And, I just. I get it. And that's what I'm trying to say. It'd be vet leadership. And Glasgow's been practicing again. What do you think? Lions faithful, should we bring them both back just to help us to the end of the season? If nothing else. I don't think we should sign Slay long term. I think we should just bring him in because he's at that age where he might retire. Hello, Connor. How are you? Yesterday's practice report. Let's get into that. Taylor Decker, rest, no practice. Kirby Joseph, no practice, rest from the day before. Khalif Raymond, no practice. He probably won't play this week, is what we heard. Amon Ra's a game time decision. Nate Sewell, shoulder, no practice. He's been dealing with that off and on all year, so he probably will play. They give him one rest day every week. Brock Wright, no practice because he has that trachea injury. Zylstra returned to his 21-day window but did not practice. Brian Branch was limited. Coyote Awasika was limited. Graham Gaskell was limited. And Theoni Vaki was limited. Is that in Green Bay? Is that in Green Bay or Chicago? That's the first question I got for you to go, Pat, go. Because let me look at the schedule. I have it here. They're in Green Bay. I think Chicago can win. Will they? That's another story. Um, your defense is playing better than their defense, but their offense is clicking right now on a level we haven't seen. So they're running the ball really well, but you guys don't give up a 100-yard rusher any more than the Lions do. So I'm going to be trepidatious about it. I just picked them because I flipped the coin. Because I think both teams are pretty equal in how they're playing right now. I hope that makes sense on what I said, because you got to make a pick. I literally flipped the coin because I didn't know which way to go. Yes, Devontae Wyatt is injured. He's out for the season, right? Dwayne, it's good to see you back here. Haven't seen you for a couple days, brother. I hope your holidays were good. Uh, I personally hope that we take a flyer and get both of them for the rest of the season for under $2 million in Hampsley and Lakin Tomlinson here. Chicken nugget. Man, it's been a minute seeing you here. It's good to see you. Yeah, we got to get into the playoffs. We're 2 spots out right now, considering we're in ninth now that after the loss. This is basically a playoff game in the season, Dallas versus Detroit. Either team loses, they're probably out of the playoffs. Either team wins, they're probably in, as long as they can continue to win. Thank you. That QR code leads to my articles on the South Florida Tribune if you want to see my previews and reviews and everything I've said. Um, when I both teams need this game. Let's not sugarcoat it. This is going to be a slobber knocker in Detroit. We need our O line to play as good as they can, because Quinnen Williams and Kenny Starks are very good in the middle for Dallas. They have Ulrich, or however you say his name. He's been coming on, but Quinnen Williams is the difference maker. All of a sudden they can get pressure. All of a sudden they can stop it. Yes, we play Thursday night football, and we're going with the all whites, and the Dallas are going to be in their home blues in our stadium. It's a whiteout. So wear your whites tomorrow if you're going to the game. And I know Chicken Nugget is. He's a season ticket holder. Somehow I went 11-4 with losing 3 out of the 4 over the Thanksgiving days. Yes, it is. It is a playoff game, basically, for both teams. Whoever wins could be in, and whoever loses will be out. That's what I see. We're at 7 wins. They're at 6, but they have the tie, so they have the leg up and are ahead of us. And it looks like the NFC West may get 3 teams in, and if Arizona wasn't so damn bad, they'd be out. Yes, and I was saying that right now, if Awasika has to play, thank God Glasgow's back, because I don't want to see Tristan Colon on there. He's not just a revolving door; he's an open door. Oh wow, Eldon Campbell plays away, and the West has easy schedules going forward. That's right, because let's face it, next week we go to LA. We need to go 4-1 to get in. We got to win 11 games. Can we? Yes. Will we? That remains to be seen. We can't have this middling pressure act that we've been getting. The other guys are not winning one-on-one, and that lets Aiden be doubled and triple teamed. We need to go to a 5-man front. I think 3 defensive tackles, 2 defensive ends, and then go to 1 linebacker and 5 defensive backs. That's just me. I think that's what we have to do to be able to get pressure. That way you can leave somebody like Jack Campbell or Alex Anzalone in the middle. It's a modified 9 look, but with the 5 defensive linemen, it's like you're because Lopez has been way more consistent. Reeder is the odd man out to me. I don't think we re-sign him. Oh, boy. Must be a package getting delivered as always. That's funny because it shows that it's working perfectly on my end because I watch it. Is anybody else noticing an audio problem? If they are, let me know. Yeah, yeah, you probably hear the dog barking in the background even because I don't have the sound deadener behind it. Miss Penny's going nuts. Thank you. That's what I needed. But tomorrow will be the preview game where I'll break it down right off of my article. I will read you exactly what. Thank you, Go Pack Go. I appreciate it. It's been a long time coming. We're getting closer to that 1,000. It's the push for 1,000 now. We've made it past 500. We're approaching 600 quickly. I think I'm at 578 or 579. So if you want to hear Lions content, push it out there. Help me grow because I try to help everyone that I guest with grow. Thank you, Broski Bear. Oh, we hope, but we have to get in the playoffs first before we can start Super Bowl at this point. My Super Bowl chance is on hold because we have 5 games remaining and we got to win 4 of them. I don't think 10-7 gets you in. Thank you, David Eastman, for the like on Facebook. Appreciate you. Yeah, when we can get them going. Packers did. They stopped them 68 yards. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. We've had a couple games where we've been stopped, but we've had way more games where no one can stop them. Still on the practice squad as an international pathways player, but he does not count towards the practice squad or active roster. They can call him up at any time. I don't know why they haven't. You're talking about Hassanin. We did just sign Rucci from the Dolphins straight to the active roster. So that's one. Yes, it is a big game between the Bears and Packers on Sunday. And I will remind Go Pack Go that last year, I understand things didn't go as well as you wanted, but you were in the playoffs already and you couldn't win the division. So therefore, I probably will. I will watch the game. I'll probably write a review about it because that game is probably going to decide the NFC North. I won't do a preview because I only do previews about Lions games. That's just me. Um, you know, if you look at Love last week, and I'm going to be honest, if he'd have had a faster release time on a few of his passes, he probably would have been the second 300-yard passer against us. But he held onto the ball a lot longer than he should have at times, which allowed pressure to get there. It didn't much influence it. You guys did have very explosive plays against the secondary, but they were also covering guys for over 4 seconds. Since October 29th, prior to October 29th, the Lions were averaging 2.5 seconds per pass rush pressure. Since then, they dropped to over 4 seconds and 32nd in the league in this stat. And that's because the one-on-ones are not being won by guys like AQM, Aleem, everyone else on the offensive line. Then you couple in Aiden Hutchinson is getting moved because he's doubled or chipped or whatever. You can say what you want. But I think the first one decides the division there, Broski Bear. because whoever wins that first one is going to have the confidence for the 1 in 2 weeks in Chicago. So I think it's very important that Ben has that offense play their best game versus that defense that's stingy and gets a lot of pressure. That's my honest opinion on it. I didn't want to pick a winner, so I flipped the coin. Chicago won. That's all I got to say. So when I do my pick'ems tonight, you know why I picked Chicago. I'm still picking the Lions versus Dallas because it's at home and we don't lose back-to-back games. We haven't done it for 12 times. Let's make it a 13th. Because we were 1-6 before we won our second game back in 2022. We won that game. We lost the next. And then we won a bunch before we lost to Carolina. And that was just a god-awful game that year. And then we won out. Even beating the Packers in Green Bay in Week 18 to take them out of the playoffs, even though the playoffs were not on the line for the Lions. It is what it is. I call it like I see it. And it's getting about that time. They need me to go into work early. I have to cut the show off early, but tomorrow I will run the full show because it is the preview show, and I'll break down why I think we can win. But right now, we're going to talk about my sponsors. And I'm going from top to bottom. In first place, it's the Bears. In second place, it's SJB. Fuck the Packers. In third place, it's our Lions. And in last place, because the Seahawks definitely stole fuck them at 26-0. It's the Minnesota Vikings. And I'm coming live out of Flint, where the water's shit, but the tires are good. I want to thank everybody for watching. They did get both, sir. They got both. I want to thank everybody for watching. Try every day to be a better person than you were the day before. That's the only way to make the world a better place. It starts right here. Much love to everybody in the chat. Whether you're for our team or against our team, I enjoy talking football with everybody. Have a great day, everybody, and we will see you tomorrow at noon.
This is a Huddle Sports Network broadcast. You can find us on Roku TV, Amazon Fire TV, Facebook, and of course YouTube. Get all your NFL news here first.